Hi everyone, it's Marcy from Stampin' with Marcy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Southwestern Ontario, Canada, and I want to thank you for pressing play on today's video. Today I have the most adorable card for you that uses the Scary Cute bundle, as well as we're going to be using the tree here from the Snowman dies. And I am using one of the circles from the Layering Circle dies. All right, we're gonna get nice and inky. We're also going to be using the Stampin' Up! Masking paper. And this is the adorable card we're creating today. Isn't that so fun? Oh my gosh. So like I said, we're going to be getting inky. So what we're going to do first is to create this fun glowing type of moon. I have a piece of basic white cardstock, and I have die cut a circle out of just a scrap piece of basic white. We're going to be using the following colors: So Saffron, Pale Papaya, Bermuda Bay, as well as Starry Sky. All right, let's get started. So we are going to just take and place on a piece of scrap paper, or grid paper, I should say. I'm going to place my circle down slightly so that my moon is coming off the edge of the cardstock. And it's towards the top, but not too awful. There we go, just a smidge more. And I'm just going to be holding it. I am not going to be taping it down or anything like that, because it is what it is. I'm going to be good with that. All right, so I am loading up my blending brush with the loading up the blending brush with my So Saffron, and I'm going to come down just like that. And then I'm going to take some of the excess off, because I want it to be not too heavy. I want it light. And I'm just going around the outside, basically. I'm leaving this center section. I don't want any real ink in there. So I am just going around in a circular fashion, but I do want it to be dark enough that I can see where I am to put my mask. So just go around, and there we have that moon. So the more you put, the darker it's going to get. We're done with the So Saffron. Close that up, get that out of the way. We're done with this. Now, I have already die cut out my circle out of my masking paper, and you want to be sure to do a clean one every single time, because this is what you're going to be ending up with, and you don't want that blue to be from the previous card to be contaminating your color. So to get some of that stick off, we're peeling off the backing. This is the garbage part. So this part here is the sticky. So I am just going to put it on my shirt for a second and pull it off. Put it on my shirt, pull it off. So that has taken some of that excess tack off of it, so it's not going to rip your paper, I hope. I hope I've taken enough of the tack off. It should be good. So then we are just going to go right over top of that circle. There we go. A light press, pull that hair that came off of my shirt. All right, next up is our Pale Papaya, and that's going to give that moon that light glow. So I'm just going to turn my grid paper. Bring that down here. Bring my ink pad up. Load that up. Get some of that off so we don't get a harsh line. You always want to take your blending brush and get rid of some of that ink by touching it on your grid paper, your scratch paper, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to hold on to the mask area here because I don't want my fingerprints to be showing on my card. And I'm going to apologize. This is going to be a smidge longer video because of the fact that we are doing this ink blending. So I'm going around my moon with my pale papaya. So we're getting a nice halo to that moon. And because I'm using the pale papaya, it's going to be giving off a bit of a different color than that So Saffron. And that was exactly the look I was going for when I started playing with my blending brushes and inks to try and create this vision I had in my head. All right, we're done with this. Get that off to the side. Then we're going to flip that over and bring in our Bermuda Bay. So when you're doing masking and ink blending, it's really fun to just explore different color combinations. So you can see I'm getting rid of some of that heavy, and then I'm coming in and I'm going around and creating that darker tone, getting rid of that heavy excess. And I'm leaving a bit of that papaya color there because I don't need to cover it all up. Oh, I got a little heavy because I'm reaching, but that's okay. Just going around in a circular motion around that mask. And I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking to have coverage because I want a deep, fun Halloween night scene with that sky. And the more color I lay down of this, the easier it's going to be able to get that deep color I want with my, I'm just going to come over here just slightly to tone that down with my Starry Sky. I want just a bit more right in there. All right, now because Starry Sky is a darker blue, I'm not going to be concerned about flipping or getting myself another piece of grid paper. So, as you can see, this is a very deep, deep blue. And it is fabulous for creating that deep night sky. All right, so we're going to start off. Oh, I just put my hand in it. Now, it's a good idea to have a wet one or something to wipe your hands because you're going to get very inky. It's the nature of creating when you're doing blending and stuff like that. Be prepared. All right, so we're coming in and we're going to build up that dark color. You'll see how it transforms that cardstock from white to that deep night sky. And because I've already got that Bermuda Bay down, it changes the tone of that starry sky. Gives us that spookier kind of night look. Bringing it up. So you can go as dark or as light as you want. It all depends, but it's really important that you don't put your fingers on this area because you're going to leave fingerprint smudges that won't be so easy to cover up. And you can see how I've got my bit of the deeper blue is there as well on the mask, and that is why you have to create a new mask every time you are doing it. Okay. I think we are good. All right, so I've got a little bit of ink on my hands. So I'm just going to wipe them off. And close this up, get this out of the way so that I don't make a mess with that. All right, and now let's get a fresh, clean piece of the small grid paper. Get this super inky one out of the way. So there is our night sky. Now we are going to bring in our Stamparatus. And we are going to, I've already die cut. Where did I put them all? Somewhere on my desk is all of my die cuts. My goodness. Oh, there they are. They are all over here. So I've already gone ahead and die cut out my tree. And silly me, I forgot to use, well, that doesn't need to go on there. I forgot to use my all right, my adhesive sheets. Sorry, I was struggling for words there for a moment. All right, so we are going to take that, get you out of the way, and we are going to put this, your Stamparatus is your friend because we are going to stamp right over top of that inky background. So I'm just figuring out whereabouts do I want my cutie patootie Frankenstein to be walking. And on this card here, I don't know if I'm gonna have to bring you up just slightly because I need room on that. There we go. Actually, if we move you over just slightly, every time you do this, it's going to be a little different. There, that should be good. All right, this is going to be my ground that Frankie here is going to be walking on. So I'm just going to pick up my stamp. And let's get you in camera view here. All right, so taking my Memento black ink, I can now move this out of the way. And we're going to need to do this a couple times. So we're going to close that door, bring in my dry eraser. There's my first layer of ink. Now it would be better if we had time to let this dry, but for the sake of not having a super long video, oh, look at that, is gorgeous. So next, before we do anything else, we are going to take you off of here and close this up. Move that to the side. And see, he's walking at night. It's so cute. All right. So I have cut a mask that out of the, I've cut another one out of the masking paper. I stamped on the paper and then fussy cut out. It's not perfect and I don't care. It's okay. Because I just need to, I didn't do this on my first. I thought it would be okay. And it wasn't. So I'm just going to stick that on there just for the moment. And bring in my white craft ink pad. And because it's still wet, I'm going to pick up all the ink settles to the ends of the ink pad here and gushes out the sides. All right, that should be good. So I have picked up some ink. I'm going to wipe my hands again. And I've got an old aqua painter here. And what did I do with my bone folder? It's gone missing in my cleanup here. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to take and squeeze a bit of water in here and pick up a lot of that fabulous white. And then go right over top and splatter. And I've got too much here, but that's okay. And it will dry. Now you want to make sure you clean this right away. All right, that I'm going to call good. Get this out of the way. And I'm getting ink all over me. So while that has a moment to dry, we're just going to carefully lift that off. So now I don't have splatter. I have splatter on my original. So I didn't want to do that again. So we're just going to carefully, slowly peel that mask off. There we have it. Ooh, that is gorgeous. And like I said, every time you do it, you're going to have a different look. So we are going to figure out how Frankie is going to be on here. So I want to have a bit of a hill. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to kind of cut and I've got like, I'm making my own little all right, so let's see, how does this look? Yeah, he's walking down the hill. And then this will tuck right under here. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so cute. All right, so now I know that I have to keep my sentiment up a bit. So I'm going to flip this over so that I can see. All right, that's about almost ½ an inch. So I am going to take my bone folder right there. So I can see that that spot there, I have to keep my sentiment up above that area there. All right, so I'm going to bring in my embossing buddy and my Versamark and my stamp. Trick or treat, you're so sweet. All right, and then that is going to be stamped up. I know I have to keep it up here, and hopefully I'm going to stamp that straight. If not, oh well. All right, get some embossing powder on it. All right, we look good. Get that out of the way so I don't drop it and make a mess. And then, did you know that you can pick up embossing powder, Wayward embossing powder, with your putty end of your Take Your Pick tool? So you can easily clean up any wayward bits. And then in here, there we go. All right, so we want to heat up our, there it is, heat tool. Okay. I apologize for the noise. Okay. Now, that looks good. Give it a moment to dry. Bring in our silicone craft sheet. And we're going to get gluing our bits together. So we want you like that. There we go. So it's going to be just like that. And my glue. And line it. Whoops, I got a little heavy-handed there. Line it up at the side. There we go. Pull that off. Then, because I forgot to use my adhesive sheets, we're going to put just a little bit of glue on there. And you under and stick you on there. There's a little, there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna flip that over and just go right across and snip that off. And that's why I marked it with my bone folder. I went looking through all my dies for yeah, that's quite a bit still on there. All my dies looking for a ground, a die that I could use for a slope or whatever, and I just didn't have anything that appealed to me, so I created my own with my scissors. There we go. So then, oh, that's the inside piece. This is the one I want. So then this is going to be adhered on our larger piece of the white. And does that not look so cool? I just love the way it turned out. I got extremely inky. Make sure that's dry, the first time I did it. All right, look at that. Oh, so cool. So cool. All right, we need our 3 bats. So there's 1, 2, and 3. All right, so we are going to use our Take Your Pick tool again, the putty end. And again, because I did not use the adhesive sheets, a little dot here and there, and then 1 bat here, 1 bat there, and then our big bat. Whoop, that could have been a disaster. The big bat, he's gonna go here. And then we need to fold and burnish our base. Adhere that. And every time you do this, it's going to look slightly different. It all depends on how much ink you use. And then we need to stamp the inside with a few of these cute little bats. We're just going to go down the side, making sure that we are good and inked up. And I'm just back and forth. Just for a little bit of fun on the inside of that card. There we go. So adorable. Okay. A little bit of glue. And again, I do apologize for the length of today's video. However, when it's a cool technique like this, with some steps, you know it's going to be a little bit longer. All right, so there is my card for you for today. Let's zoom in a little bit more so you can see those details. I hope you liked today's project. Please, if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I read all my comments. I love to interact with you. And if you live in Canada and don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you currently work with, I would love the opportunity to earn your business. Please use this month's host code when you are shopping in my online store. And don't forget about the fabulous starter kit promotion. You pay $135. You get to choose $206 worth of products. You cannot go over that amount. It runs for the entire month of October. I would love to welcome you to my Stampin' family. If you have any questions, please reach out. All right, that's it for me today. Thanks again, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of the week. Bye for now.